Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a very important worldwide transmission. Tuesday, September 8th, 2009. We're going to be live here for the next 4 hours. Stay with us. Massive, important, breaking news. We have launched our own information warfare PSYOP against the globalist, and all of you need to be involved in this fight and in the information we're going to be rolling out here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Sheen did write the piece that you see up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com right now, and I suggest you go grab it off the site and mirror it on your blog or website or Facebook or MySpace, because we've got record server load on our CDNs, and I've got the two great IT guys in there doing a fabulous job trying to keep the sites up. So get the information, get it out to everybody. This is only the beginning of a larger operation. This is only the beginning. Coming up later today, Charlie Sheen here on air with us. Then there is a video interview I conducted with Charlie Sheen that's coming up in the next few days. And then another interview live on air with Charlie Sheen coming up as well. Why write a story where you have Charlie Sheen meeting with President Barack Obama? That is the whole point. This was the only way, and this was Charlie's idea, completely his brainchild, and I think it's genius, was to write it as if they had the meeting with a little disclaimer at the bottom so that the media couldn't come twist or spin the radio interviews. That's why the text, the article comes first, so that everyone is forced in mainstream media to look at the 20 bullet points that in the article he hands to President Barack Obama. That's why the radio interview is coming after we published today the article. Now, Charlie Sheen is formally asking to meet with President Barack Obama, and he's also asking other prominent people in government, in media, in academia. He's asking We Are Change. He's asking 9/11 Truth. He's asking the libertarians that are one of the largest contingents at all the different Tea Parties and town hall events to go to press conferences, to go to events, and to bring up 9/11 Truth and false flag stage terror, false inflicted wounds, self-inflicted wounds, false flag terror. You see all these massive national hit pieces taking place against 9/11 Truth. That's being done because the establishment is scared of the fact that the public worldwide, not just in the United States, is discovering that most terror is completely staged or provocateur. And there is no way the globalists are going to be able to set up their new world order without staging more terror attacks. And so now it is essential that we expand and redouble our efforts in 9/11 Truth so that we take the tool of staged terror and break it in front of the faces, right in front of the New World Order. As Webster Tarpley said at the 2006 live C-SPAN event that we put on, that then C-SPAN taped and aired. That public event we had. Now I'm going to break all this down when we get back. Charlie Sheen coming up, but more extensive interviews throughout the week and video. And we're going to go over the article that's up on PrisonPlanet.com and Infowars.com. Charlie Sheen requests meeting with Obama over 9/11 cover-up. Please get this story out viral to everyone and his piece, 20 Minutes with the President, that holds the most damning evidence proving 9/11 was an inside job.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
In the last month and a half, as we developed this information warfare ICBM in the fight to expose government-sponsored false flag stage terror, I was chomping at the bit to even let my own staff and crew know the details. And then in the last few days, we posted the YouTube video and the little article, huge announcement coming tomorrow to Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. I have just so wanted this moment to come to be able to break all this down, but by the very nature of what we're doing, it had to wait until the piece was launched. Now, Charlie's idea was, how do I write something that forces the mainstream media to look at the facts and the text and a bibliography exposing the fact that the 9/11 Commission, 6 of the 10 members, 60%, and 2 of their counsels out of 5, have come out on record stating that the entire commission was a fraud and a lie, and that the Pentagon was deliberately deceiving them, and that Bush was deliberately deceiving them, and the entire thing was, quote, a cover-up, in the words of one of the commission members. We're going to be going over those quotes today. The controlled corporate press just continues to act like it's a conspiracy theory to question 9/11 when 6 of the 10 members of the commission appointed by Bush said it was a cover-up and a lie. Well, you do that by publishing an article that puts it into context of the president being face-to-face questioned about these issues. And then in the piece, Charlie gives him the folders that have the research, that have the material, that have the facts, that have the proof. So that people who have never actually looked at the evidence 9/11 Truth has can discover where we're really coming from and really look at the evidence. And that's why I spent 2 trips to Los Angeles writing this with Charlie. He really wrote about 90% of it. I was just there consulting on the data and the info. And that's why I have spent so much time preparing for what we're now doing. Because Charlie knows when he went public in 2006, he knew he was going to be attacked. And he had Bill O'Reilly and others go on TV and threaten him and basically say, you're going to end up in the East River. He had all sorts of stuff go on behind the scenes. Remember, I told you I couldn't talk about what was happening with Mark Cuban and why he backed out of Loose Change Final Cut. Later it came out that the Securities and Exchange Commission member called him and threatened him not to be involved, and then sent him an email saying, we're coming after you, you 9/11 kook, for what you've done. We're coming after you criminally. They then indicted him for insider trading on some tiny trade for a guy worth $4 or $5 billion, you know, some trade of like $800,000 that it came out was completely above board and kosher. But this is the type of black ops we deal with, ladies and gentlemen, just trying to put that movie in theaters. And when people ask you to have things off record, that's what you have to do when you work as a journalist and as a filmmaker and as somebody in the media. People are like, oh, ha, ha, you know. The Loose Change Final Cut didn't end up in theaters. The anti-9/11 truthers cheered. People that are jealous of the work we do that claim they're 9/11 truthers cheered, which is pathetic because none of us have a future, any future, if we don't expose false flag terror, because that's the foundation of the police state and the wars and the entire technological control grid, the enslavement system, the dehumanization control grid that is being put into place. I mean, Charlie's a guy that makes $20 million a year. Charlie's a guy that has a lot to lose. Charlie's a guy who's had people threaten him and tell him to shut up and tell him that he's going to be thrown to the wolves. But because people resonated with his courage in 2006, and because we now have a new president. Charlie believes we have another shot at forcing this issue into the mainstream debate. Because if it's forced into the mainstream debate, I mean, we're risking our lives, our names, our treasure, everything doing this, especially Charlie. If we can force it out into the national debate that's in his 20 Minutes with the President piece, where 6 of the 10 9/11 Commission members are saying the whole thing was a lie and a fraud and the government was covering up and it was a cover-up. If we can do that, it strikes one of the biggest single blows ever against this technological